Greetings fellow Druids, Zaior here with a fresh build for our beloved Chunky boy. I won't lie to you, it's my first time trying this build, and let me tell you, it's crazy fun to play. To my surprise, it can clear P90 and even push beyond. There's something too satisfying about watching Sanctuary Monster go boom from a single detonation. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you dig the content, drop a like, hit that subscribe, and comment below if you have questions or just want to show love. Alright, let's dive into the build. Okay, to start, we need to keep some important points in mind for this build, or what I think you definitely need to have so the build feels smooth to play. First, having a Mjolnir Green with GA in Endless Tempest will help us keep our Cataclysms as much as longer. This means we can cast Stoneburst as many times as we want. The anti-climb burst aspect will be another of the most important things in this build, since this aspect ensures that the hits from our skill are overpowered when it detonates at full size. Since it's a candidate ability, we must wait for the Stoneburst to reach its max size before letting it explode. That mechanic is easy to learn. And last, even if it sounds obvious, is also important. Having Basilisk Prayer so our air skills also count on weather skills. This way, the benefit from passives, Paragon and aspects. Having these things, and specifically focusing on the Mjolnir Green, the build will run great. Okay, let's go with the gear. To start, we have our helmet, which will be Basilisk Prayer. Like I mentioned before, our air skills will also bear skills. Here rise willpower, it will boost our overpower damage. For the chest, we'll use Shroud of False Death as always, nothing else to add. It's still the best chest piece, but you can also use Insatiable Fury until you find it. For gloves, make sure to get stats that are easy to roll. Willpower, max life, and ranks to Stoneburst or core skills. The temporary will be Hurricane Duration to keep it active as long as possible. Since our Stormshifter aspect gives us +5 to shapeshifting skills and air critical strike chance, it helps boost those orange numbers on screen. For pants, you can use Tivol's Will, only if you can hit Armor Cap with your other gear and gems. Otherwise, use an ancestral legendary like this one with the ballistic aspect. On boots, important to have willpower, max life, resistant to all elements, movement speed, and hurricane duration in temporary. The weapon will be a one-handed dagger. Why a dagger? Because it's the fastest casting weapon a druid can use, and our Stoneburst is a bit slow. Look for willpower, max life, and overpower damage. In tempering, it's very important to max out the chance to cast Stoneburst twice, and earth critical strike chance. Our top 10 can be no one other than Stone of Behemoth, increased ranks of Stoneburst. For the amulet, try to get willpower, the passive Nature's Reach, and Envenom. Cataclysms cooldown reduction and air critical strike chance in tempering. Our aspect will be Retaliation, which increases the damage of our core skill. For rings, not much to say. Starless Sky and Mjolnir Ring are the best choices for this build. Here, I will show you what is most important so you get a clearer idea of the build. We will use Raging Stoneburst. It costs 66% more spirits and deals 50% more damage in the final explosion. It's perfect because we will have infinite spirit and we will always make it explode at max. For defensive skills, we will take these three. First, Earthen Bulwark, which makes us unstoppable and significantly reduces incoming damage. It will also help activate the unique effect from Tivol's Will. Innate Cyclone Armor to push enemies away, since our skill deals more damage while enemies are far from us. That's why Nature's Reach will help increase our damage, and it's important to have this passive on the amulet, though not more than Envenom. Endless Tempest, I have it at 10 point thanks to the Mjolnir Ring plus 3 more add points and another point from the chest piece. I do this to only leave 1 point in Cataclysms and free up more points for other passives like Quick Shift or Hidden Sense. Our key passive will be Ursine Strange. It's perfect for this build since it increases our life and gives us big damage boost. The Paragon board is basically the same as the boulder build I posted a few weeks ago. The most important change I made was removing Keeper and adding Outmatch, since our Stoneburst has physical damage and this glyph helps with that. We start with Headhunter to deal more damage to elites and gain attribute points. Another important one is Hidden Malice, since it gives more damage to poison enemies. How do we poison them? Thanks to this Spirit Bomb, Overload. Our storm skills poison enemies, and Cataclysms is one of them. To close the Paragon bar, and to me the first glyph you should level is Dominate, since it greatly increases our overpower damage. Our main boss power will be Death Chestpin. It's the best power we can have here. It activates every time we cancel Stone Burst and also boosts our damage by 50%. Belial Eye-Beam for that extra overpower damage. The other one is Hatred Embrace Haste. It's important to increase our critical strike chance, so all the damage we deal show up as that orange number on the screen, which is the combination of an overpower hit plus a critical hit. And Heartbringer to get that 30% more damage to vulnerable enemies. How will they be vulnerable? Thanks to Cataclysms. Okay, our runes are very important for this build to work optimally. The first one will be Lead Shell. We will use Lead because most of the time we'll be standing still channeling Stone Burst, so it has good synergy with Shell to gain that extra 20% life. Ignisec are mandatory. This way we reduce the cooldown of Cataclysm before it runs out. It's very important to always have it active so the build runs smooth. Here is a P90 run to show the build in action. It's super fun, really strong, and clears all T4 with ease. I'm also including a Grizzly Rage variant on the planner you can try out. Next week, I will be diving into the PTR to test fresh builds for the new season. Drop your question or just some good vibes in the comments. See you in Sanctuary, Druids. Farewell.